Hello, everyone. I'm Jacob Angevine. Today I'll be going over the Syria documentary. I chose the Syria documentary, which is about the start of what many call the Syrian Civil War. It delves into the rise of power of Bashir al Assad, as well as into the lives of the opposition fighters on the ground fleeing from Syrian forces in their struggle to overthrow the al Assad run government. I chose this because I have a substantial portion of my life invested in this region, being that I have served 36 months as a warfighter in Iraq and Afghanistan, and 4 years in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia as a military trainer and advisor. Also, I believe it's the most important subject we will touch on in this class. During the escalating tensions that reverberated across the Middle East due to the Arab Spring, it led to significant uprisings and including some of the worst violence that I witnessed during my 1 year tour inside of my unit's area of operation. The where I was stationed was just outside of Baghdad, Iraq. Eventually, the uprising and violence during the Arab Spring led to the death of two of my close friends, which is another reason why I found this topic so interesting. Throughout the documentary, the qualitative methods of immersion was prevalent as we watched an embedded reporter interact with some of the Syrian government's most wanted opposition members. She got a close look at their life on the run, in fear of being captured, and even interviewed some of the victims of political violence from the massive protests. In the second half of the documentary, qualitative methods were used to research how al Assad lived, experience shaped him into becoming the next leader of Syria. Despite trying to modernize his country, the Syrian people still wanted more, no doubt being influenced and funded by a foreign entity or entities. The documentary's methods helped me understand some culturally significant data that I was previously unaware. I like to learn about the Middle East. You know, I was culturally immersed in the Middle East myself, so a lot of the U.S. interaction there, I would often speak with locals on it just to get another perspective, not a Western perspective, a Middle Easterner's perspective. Um, learning more in this documentary was something I kind of wasn't expecting. For example, Al Assad's mother telling him to stand strong, like his father, and how the Islamic Revolution almost destroyed the country in the late 70s, early 80s. I was also unaware of the demands from the protesters prior to watching this documentary. I was under the impression that they wanted to overthrow al Assad due to leadership failures, um, the way he reacted with the protesters. Um, so I was surprised to learn that they were pushing for government subsidies like food, fuel, and bread, all due to the rise of the cost of living.